So these are called Twistura wood note, and I'm pretty excited to review this one because previously the Twistura D minor that I reviewed, which were priced at around 3000 Indian rupees, packed in a lot of accessories in the box, and they also sounded very impressive. So let's see what these wood note have to offer. So first of all, they come in this kind of a very big box, and the packing looks quite impressive because, and why it should not be, because these are priced at around $179 or 12,500 Indian rupees. So you can expect that kind of a packing. When you will open the box, you will find everything so neat and clean. Just a like division of the entire box into two sections. In the lower compartment, you will find this carry case in purple color. Purple is definitely not my color, and I don't know why they included this purple color. I believe it should have been like gray or black, something like that. The paperwork is quite minimal, which I really like. And then you have these IEMs. At this point, I got slightly confused because I could not find the cable, and also when I checked this carry case, so the cable is not there. So when you will remove this particular compartment, so on this side you will find your cable, and they have also given you a 4.4 millimeter jack, which you will usually not find in IEMs, or any IEMs you have to definitely like buy it separately. So they have included a 4.4 millimeter jack. DAC is not included at this particular price point. I don't know why. And then you have this some extra pair of nozzles, so one pair is already attached and you get two more. And then all these four sections you will find different ear tips and different shapes, sizes and colors. So first you have this blue, then you also have this gray. They have also given you a green option and a transparent one, so choose like from the multiple options that you have. And now let's begin with the review. So before we move ahead, just want to mention we would be comparing these IEMs to some other IEMs in the similar price, like the Simcord Super Mix 4, so that you have a better understanding of the sound and what you can actually expect from this Twistura wood note. So starting off with the design and build quality, the housing is made from aluminium and it's all CNC machine. At this particular price point, the IEMs feel very premium and of a very high quality. Hard to find any sort of flaws or imperfections as far as the design and build is concerned. The finish you can expect from these is kind of a matte finish, but it is more on a slippery side. So they have provided this particular like rubber ear fin on this particular part, so that whenever you are wearing these IEMs and you want to make some micro adjustments related to fitting, so you can grip on these IEMs very nicely. Also the size of these IEMs is like very small and compact, so that rubber fin would be like very helpful when you are holding these IEMs. Also they have provided one ear vent on the face plate, and just in case you are listening to these IEM for long listening sessions, so it will just help to minimize the pressure onto the ears and increase the flow of air in and out. Also when it comes to the cable, so I would say it's really slightly on thicker side and also a very heavy cable. I'm not really a fan of these kind of heavy cables, but if you talk about this particular cable, so it's an oxygen free copper cable, and it's also a mix of copper and silver and also copper and graphene. So they have like included a lot of different materials as far as the cable is concerned. Definitely the cable is of a very high quality, and I just believe they don't want to make any sort of compromises as far as the signal transmission is concerned. So they have like done their best when it comes to the cable. Also this cable comes with detachable 3.5 millimeter and a 4.4 millimeter connector, so you can detach it somewhat like that. Just match the arrows and go for any one of your choice. So quite very thoughtful. Now starting off, now talking about the fitting and comfort, so these IEMs are more on a compact side, or you can say on a smaller side. So I'm pairing these IEMs with the medium size ear tips that came in the box, and they fit very nicely to me, and I don't really feel a lot of weight when I'm wearing them. But the thing is, if you look at this particular like curve on this particular cable, so it doesn't grip on me very nicely. The thing is that also the cable is like slightly more stiff and heavy, so just in case like when I'm sitting properly, so it won't be a lot of issue. But just in case you are lying down in bed or you are like sitting at a certain angle, so if little bit of twist is there in the cable, so it just pops out the IEM from the ears. This is something that I have noticed with this particular cable. So the thing is, like if you're going for the medium size ear tips, you can increase the tip size and go for the large one, so that will give you a better grip. Overall it's not a big issue, but just want to mention that. Talking about the technical specifications, so they come with a 10 millimeter dynamic driver inside with dual chambers and dual magnets. Dual magnets is something that is new to me. So the core idea here is that to give you a strong magnetic flux so that you are getting a powerful sound. The impedance is around 18 ohms, sensitivity is around 125, and the range they are covering is from 8 Hz to 21,000 Hz. So they are covering slightly more at both ends when it comes to the range of audible human frequency spectrum. And the reason they are being called wood note is because they are using some sort of a wooden diaphragm, or you can say a composite material that onto which they have fused some sort of a wooden fibers to give you a natural listening experience. And now I tried out these IEMs with plenty of DAC. So first one was this 3.5mm to Type-C converter. This one is from Portronics, and I would say this is just a converter, so it just gives you a sound experience but not anything that is rich and full. So the thing is that if you are getting a product at that particular price point, you need to have at least a dongle DAC like this one. This is the Audiocolor D7. You can get this for around 1000, less than 1000 rupees, and this thing will guarantee that you are getting a good performance out of your IEMs. But also recently I got two more DACs to review. First one was this Audiocolor Aura and second one was this Audiocolor Note. So you will be getting a dedicated review on this one. So these are not just DACs, but these are DACs plus amps. Now you might have noticed that if you are using your smartphone and maybe you're listening to something and volume level on your phone is very low, so your IEMs, your earphones, or maybe your TWS are not able to give output at a very low volume level. So the thing here is that if you are using an amp in combination with a DAC, so even at that particular lowest volume, you will be able to get output from your audio product. So that is the difference between DAC and an amp. You will get a dedicated review on all this stuff shortly. Now talking about the audio quality, my initial impression when I took them straight out of the box was these are slightly on a bassier side, and I was expecting the sound to be very detailed in the high frequencies and to be little bit vocal forward, because that's the kind of sound signature you are getting with D minor. So these are slightly different from that. So if you're looking for an IEM which has a slightly better bass, so and like Wood Note is definitely going to give you a lot of satisfaction. Also, if you look at this particular graph and you align with the Harman target curve, so you can already see that these are slightly on a bassier side, but deep bass will be slightly missing. And if you talk about the frequencies from 2 to 4, which are your mid frequencies, so they align very well in those regions. The dialogues and all will be very clear. And also if you talk about the high frequencies, so they are not very much detailed, and especially that 8000 kilohertz frequency which gives airiness to the overall audio, so that is also not like on an elevated side. So that is the kind of basic details you can get from this particular graph. Now at this point, if I compare them to the IEMs like the SIMGOT Super Mix 4, and if I align the curve, so you can see that IEM Super Mix 4 are going to give you a slightly better bass, especially when it comes to the deep bass. And on a practical use also, like if you're looking for that thump and all, so Super Mix 4 are going to be a little bit better. On the other hand, if you talk about the high frequencies also, so Super Mix 4 have enough details in the high frequencies. Now the thing is that a lot of people judge IEMs on the basis of drivers. Like for a 12,500 rupees, you are getting an IEM with a single dynamic driver when you can get 4 drivers in the Super Mix 4. So the thing is, when Super Mix 4 was initially sent out to me, it was hard for me to accept because I was not used to that particular detailed kind of a sound signature. So if that is kind of an idea you are going with, so Wood Note is something that you will easily accept and embrace. These are not one of the detailed IEMs out there, but you can achieve a lot of control if you are using an app like Equalizer. So just raise those bars from 2 to 4000 kilohertz and also raise some around 8000, and then from 10 to 15,000 you are going to get one of the perfect sound signature with Tustura Wood Note. Also you can do a lot of mix with the nozzles also, and also with like the ear tips, so definitely you will find your sweet spot. Also these IEMs respond very well to like the any sort of app you are using to, you can say, EQ them. So they are not going to break apart, they are going to remain very natural and very much balanced, even if you do some sort of mistakes while doing your EQ. So anyway, this was all about it. Thank you so much for watching. And talking about the gaming experience, and didn't tried a lot of games with this one, so I'll definitely give you my update when I do a very intensive testing on that one. So anyway, this was all about it. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next one. And also we have announced the winners of our KZ Duet giveaway, so congratulations, and make sure to follow and subscribe for the upcoming giveaways to come. Thank you.